I'm just going to try. Okay, so I'm just going to show you a few things, guys. Yep, my turn to talk. Yep, my turn to talk. Yeah. So you have some tools here, and I'll show you the difference between these two tools. Firstly, suppose you have an object like this one here. What the selection tool does is it actually selects the whole object. See this? But there is another selection tool, the direct selection tool. If I deselect and I come over here, see, I can select a component of that object, a component. So this selects the whole thing. This selects a component. The very basic difference. Let me show you some interesting things here. So you have a brush. Yeah, pretty cool. What Illustrator allows you to do is it allows you to apply brushes of different types. So you can have a pattern brush. So if you select this guy here and apply this, you get a pattern brush. You get an arrow brush, and you can get a brush stroke. Let me show you something very interesting. Suppose I was to make something like this and just right click to end it. So I just use the pen tool, click, 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 and I made something like a gear. If I drag this and I drop it into the brushes window, I drag it and I drop it in the brushes window, it says, hey, what do you want? A pattern brush, an art brush, or a scatter brush? This one is going to be a pattern. See this? It will give me this pattern. So if I was to make a gear, and really your traineeship here is about trying to learn how to do things in a smart way. So I make a circle, I make a brush, and I get a gear. Questions? Yes?
I lost it.
Okay. So what I did was, I took a pen tool, and I just made a shape like this. Now let me fill this with black. You can see this is the fill color, this is the outline color. If I swap the fill and stroke, I get this filled. Now earlier what I showed you was I took the pen tool and I clicked to make something like this. Yeah? And if I swap it, this is just an outline. So that's a fill, that's an outline. Yeah? Just a pen tool. If I drag this and I drop it into the brushes menu, drag and drop, it asks me, hey, you want a new brush? What type of brush do you want? Now this one is going to be an art brush, and I'll tell you why. This one is going to be a pattern brush. Did it actually make it? It made it already. Yeah, so I have a pattern brush. Yeah, that's the pattern brush. Suppose I take a stroke like this and I apply this. See that? So I can keep drawing with this. And these strokes, they have a particular thickness, you see. If I make the thickness less, there's the thickness here, stroke and the point size. The answer to any question that starts with can is yes. The question you should always ask me is how. Can we go to Mars? Yeah, sure. I don't know how, but answer is always yes. Maybe someday, 1,000 years from now. Ask me how, and I may not always know the answer, but I could dig out the answer for you for sure. Yeah? And that's what, trying to learn the how-tos is where your traineeship will start sharpening you, giving you a sort of a nice edge. I mean, if you are going to waste one day with me out here, you know, you want to do a bit more than go to 7-Eleven and get a nice fancy drink, a slushy, you know. Even here, if I actually remove the thickness, reduce the thickness, you can see that. I get this. So this is a bit of Illustrator. I'll show you something more interesting. Suppose you take any two shapes which are filled. Now I'm just going to swap the fill and thing here. That's one shape. If I press the Alt key and I move it, and this goes across all Adobe products. If you press Alt and move, you will make a copy. You press Alt and move a layer, it will duplicate the layer. Always. Even in gradients, if you press Alt and move a crayon, it will make a copy. All Adobe products. Very important shortcut. I'm going to select both of these things, and I'm going to show you something very useful which I use a lot. So if Louis came to me and said, "Hey sir, can you use your skills to make me a logo?" Yeah, sure man, Louis, no problem. I'll take a week, and then after 1 week I'll wake up one day and open Illustrator. Oh man, Louis is coming today, I better make a logo for him. I'll make 2 circles. I will open Pathfinder. So Pathfinder is something really nice. So I'm going to select both of them. In Pathfinder there's a beautiful tool called Divide. I've divided it, but you don't see much. Now I'm going to ungroup it. Ungroup it. And I'll delete this. And I've got this. And I need it a bit scaled down. And Louis, what are your favorite colors?
Red.
Red and?
Red.
Red and red. Okay, let's go red and red. So now this is working in grayscale because I need to go to swatch, window swatch. I'll just take a color book. Just going to take 2 colors from here. Earth book. Now the problem is when I double clicked, I'm inside the path. I have to go back to my layer, click on this. So you can see here, if I double click, I go inside the path. You got to go back to your document, click on this, click on orange. So red and red. Fair enough. And let's say Louis has started a company. L-O-U-I-S or E? L-W-Y. Totally bowled me, man. I was going for the British Louis. Oh, the fonts are always a very important aspect of design. So I'm just going to go to type here. There's something called character. Character. Window character. Window text. Window paragraph. So when I come here, I get the properties, and you can see that's the font there, Myriad Pro. So you really, what you want to do is, you really want a nice font for your company, yeah? Let's take this. And you know I said Alt. If I press Alt, I get another copy. Louis Media. I'm going to make media small, make it the same size. There, that's for my friend Louis. But all I wanted to say is, it's very useful to take any 2 shapes. You can take any 2 shapes and make more shapes. So that's a shape. If I come to the top right corner, see the cursor changes? See the cursor changes in the corner? If I click and drag, it rotates. If I hit the Shift key, it snaps. If I press the Alt key, and you divide. Yes. Who was that? Thank you. But after divide, you got to do one more thing. How do you do that? You got to ungroup. So there, another fancy logo for you, my friend. What was your name?
Zach.
Zach for you. Now you will get stuck. You may not be able to do it with the same ease, or you may. Regardless, ask for help. And keep your work, because all your work goes, your website is about your portfolio. Many students have made websites for QAT, they're tired of websites. Your website is your portfolio, okay? I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to upload it to YouTube, make it available to all of you.